The police station is, or certainly was, haunted. Sometimes when you were at the front desk, the keys on the hooks would be hanging stationary, then would suddenly drop and swing back and forth, and the other keys would start swinging, as if somebody was going along the line and poking them, one at a time, to make them swing. Others reported feeling hands around their neck or hearing voices over the comms radio. A number of officers who served with the Royal Falkland Islands Police in the 2000s witnessed these strange events. However, the boss had had enough and invited representatives from the 3 churches in the islands to say prayers and bless the rooms. After this, things did get quieter, with only the occasional stomp, stomp, stomp of boots in the office above the reception desk.
Whilst in the police, I was working a night shift with another officer, driving around Stanley. It had been an average night, nothing out of the ordinary so far. The weather was calm, not foggy, and it wasn't raining. But it was dark, with no moon or starlight. Our shift was nearing its end, and we had turned left off of Snake Hill onto H. Jones Road. We both saw a dark vehicle pull across the road and go rapidly over the grassy area between the houses. We sped up expecting to see an accident and a vehicle rolled, or at least one wrapped around the fence of a house on Watson Way. However, there was nothing. We got out and looked for tyre marks, but there was nothing there. I cannot explain what we both saw. Maybe it was a shadow of another vehicle, but there was no others around. All we could agree on is that we had both seen that car.
Someone died on the old patrol vessel Prottegat when it was a jigger. Rumour is they got stuck in the warp wire and met with a grisly end. The crew are said to have brought the body back aboard and put it in the hold. Never since then weird stuff has happened aboard the vessel, especially in the hold. One night whilst I was serving on the ship, I was in my bunk half asleep when my whole duvet began to feel like it was being pulled off me. I didn't think anything of it, I just thought I was imagining it in my sleepy state and kicked it off. I pulled it back up, and I rolled myself in it so it couldn't go anywhere. Next thing I know, it feels like someone grabs it and yanks the whole thing off me, and because I was wrapped up in it, it rolled me out of my bunk. This completely weirded me out and I left the cabin. I went and mentioned what had happened to the officer of the watch, believing someone had been in my room playing a prank on me. But he proceeded to tell me of the rumoured ghost aboard the vessel, and how that had apparently been happening to a lot of people.
My father once told me a story about himself from during the Second World War. He and a few others were on duty at York Bay. The night was pitch black and calm. He and his group were sat around a tussock bog when in the distance they heard stomp, stomp, stomp. My father quickly shouted into the darkness, "Halt! Who goes there?" The sound stopped for a brief moment but began again. Stomp, stomp, stomp. They shouted for it to halt again, inquiring who was out there, wondering in the darkness. It stopped, but once again, quickly returned. The group were now beginning to worry that Germans may have landed, and slowly began to sneak around the tussock, inching closer and closer to where the noise was coming from, until they were face to face with a big white horse's rear end.